Blake Lively gets dragged in a legal filing via Taylor Swift? Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I'm Andy Signore. We are live. I'm with It's Kim, and we're giving you the recap of the best stories we talked about. It was a fun live. We talked to the AI guest, and man, that was freaky. You'll want to watch the full show over on PopcornedPlanet.com. Become a member today. You'll catch the whole stream, as well as Uncensored tomorrow. Members get all the exclusive fun stuff, so join us tomorrow. But I want to get to this one first again, Kim. We talked about this, but this was a pretty amazing filing. So Jed Wallace is still out there trying to get dismissed from this. He was dismissed due to jurisdiction. Now they're fighting back again. He's in Texas. Lively filed and admitted she was in LA, but now they're trying to make it New York. There were a few really fun little moments in the beginning of this that I want to play out for you. Like the seasons, Blake Lively's efforts to retain jurisdiction over Jed Wallace and street relations are ever changing, from a conspiracy-based theory of jurisdiction asserted in the spring, but rejected in the summer, to now in the fall, a novel theory that Lively had not raised in her prior complaint, but which now is the primary focus of her argument. Specifically, Section 302 of the long-arm statute confers jurisdiction. The change is likely explained by Lively's inability to overcome her pleadings and sworn testimony that the two claims against the Wallace defendants sound in defamation, and thus the conspiracy theory of jurisdiction is inapplicable. Her 2-paragraph attempt in a 31-page brief to overcome the defamation exception is hardly a response. The colors in autumn are so bright just before they lose it all, and the change of seasons has not cured the novelty or how do I say that? Wait, I'm going to get it. Inapplicability of her argument. I'm not having a stroke. Just some words are hard for me. Anyway, going back to this line, in the colors of autumn are so bright before they lose it all. Do you know what that's from, folks? Well, all you Swifties already called it. It's Taylor Swift's Red. Woo, look at that. Like the colors in autumn, just bright. Look how ballsy of Jed's attorneys, Kim, to pull out a Taylor Swift quote, which you know she's going to get and roll her eyes to. But I'm so here for it, Kim. Are you loving this too?
I mean, I think Jed Wallace's lawyers have filed a number of kind of sassy filings throughout this whole saga. So it doesn't surprise me that they're being sassy, but this took guts to do. And I don't really think that they are wrong, because a lot of the arguments that have been raised for the jurisdiction of keeping Jed Wallace in New York really don't seem to be working. And I mean, that's why he was dismissed before, and then he's been brought back in with the second amended complaint. So, I mean, yeah, the colors in autumn are so bright, and they may just not be able to keep him in New York.
And that wasn't the only call out in this. At the end of this complaint, there was another pretty brilliant little moment where Jed's team called her out, talking about, we note that Lively has retreated not only from her primary conspiracy-based jurisdictional theories, although she puts up a game front, but despite repeating verbiage, large swaths of her second amendment complaint, nowhere mentioned is the previously pleaded winky-faced emoji. Nor has she clarified the post which Lively claims the Wallace defendants must have seen and understood. Basically, these postings that she has here saying, well, they had to know I was in New York because look at the post. It depicts Lively under the caption, Blake Lively at Blue Jean Baby, NY Lady, which anyone who has listened to Elton John or watched the movie or seen the play, Almost Famous, knows it's not NY Lady, but LA Lady. The address Lively used when she sued Wallace in Texas. We would concede that the Blue Jean Lady, wherever found, was in fact a seamstress for the band. But with all that, motion to dismiss should be granted. Look at this, now calling out Tiny Dancer. Unreal the way they go. Because yes, anybody knows the song or seen that movie, that scene from Almost Famous. It's not NY Lady, Blue Jean Baby, LA Lady. She got the lyrics wrong. So why would anybody know this based on this weird photo, Kim? It's absurd.
It's an interesting argument. It's not one that I found to be particularly compelling, but that is just my opinion. I do think it's a little bit hilarious that they have ended their filing like this. I think I definitely get the vibe that everybody's kind of just had enough. It's getting a bit much now, and I don't disagree. But I think it was. You can always count on Jed Wallace's filings to be entertaining, and this one did not disappoint.
Speaking of had enough, Ken's filed her motion as well, as we're talking about motions, to demand sanctions. And I love that she's putting this out there because, again, how many subscribers does Ken's have?
She had, I believe, one at the time that she was subpoenaed through the Google subpoena. I believe it's actually in one of her exhibits. She has a screen cap of...
There it is.
There it
is.
One
subscriber.
There it
and
is.
They came
July
after
11th.
Her. Nuts. What data were you trying to get from this person with one subscriber? Anyway, she's had enough. She's filed her conclusion here, and she's gone in there. She wants the most severe sanctions possible. I hope she gets them. I really don't think she will, sadly, but I'm all for her attempt to, because it's so harassing and offensive, the level that she's gone to, Blake. And again, judicial oversight reflects not only a disregard for the rules of civil procedure, but an intentional weaponization of the legal system to harass, intimidate, and silence protected speech. Such misuse of judicial authority by a high-profile litigant against a private individual threatens the integrity of this court and the fairness of the proceedings. Movement therefore asks the court to exercise its full discretion to sanction the plaintiff to the maximum extent allowed to send a clear message to this kind of conduct will not be tolerated. Here. I'm all for it. I wish they would, but I don't think they're gonna. And then what's wild is Hollywood Reporter seemingly afraid in this article about Taylor's prenup. If you scroll down deep enough, you'll get to everybody gets a subpoena. Blake Lively's lawyers cast a wide net. At the risk of being dragged into court, Rambling has to ask, what's up with Blake Lively these days, Kim? How you spotted this, and good catch. Can you believe that they have to shove this article, which is great to finally let people know about all the subpoenas we've been facing, but are you surprised to see it hidden in the middle of a Hollywood Reporter article?
A bit, but I'm happy that it's being talked about, and it's actually really nice to see in this article. Ken's is mentioned, Cassidy is mentioned, as well as Perez, and they keep in a few of his quotes towards the very end, where he basically calls out that this is about ego, in his opinion, that Lively can't accept that people don't like her, so she's decided it has to be a conspiracy. And I'm really happy to see that opinion being put out there, because I think when you really start to look at particularly the 107, it starts to seem a little bit much. All of these subpoenas going out. And again, I think that's part of why I think it's very powerful that Ken's is doing what she's doing, because I can understand some people thinking some subpoenas may be merited if you really believe that this was a conspiracy. But I don't understand how you can think that Ken's is a part of it. Explain that to me, because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. And as always, I really do feel like this lawsuit needs to settle. People need to end this. It's gone on for so long, and at this point, the only people who are winning are lawyers. They're the only people who are winning. Everybody else is getting hit financially or reputationally, and it's just a mess.
Yeah, it's a mess, and exactly the cuts now. New York's getting in there on this. Will Blake be invited to the wedding? You go deep, but then as Kim caught it, there's a lot of detail about the subpoenas, the whole drama. It's really starting to spread. So it's good to see. I'm glad this is happening. Meanwhile, we'll see tonight if Ryan brings Blake to a premiere over on the TIFF red carpet. He's promoting this new John Candy documentary, which honestly, I'm promoting just because I love John Candy. I can't fault this movie for Ryan, even though he's a producer on it. I have too much history and love of John Candy. And so many amazing people involved in this project. Just because he's a producer, I refuse to let that taint my excitement level for this documentary, which he'll be promoting tonight in TIFF. The question, though, is will Blake show up? If she doesn't, I don't think it means they're divorced, but I do think it means he didn't want to draw attention away from the project. So it is a little bit of a knock, because typically I think she probably would be there. But as Kim also discovered, here it was, that Ryan was allegedly there with Blake. There's no photos to show it, but they said it. There was a drive-in theater they went to in, how did you say it?
In Muskoka. It's about 2.5 hour drive north of Toronto, but it looks like this happened at one point in August. And it's just kind of now hitting the press, but it wasn't like it happened yesterday type thing. But they are still, doing stuff as a family, which as they should. And it looks like that the drive-in really wanted to make sure that they were able to have a night without paparazzi, and they didn't want to give away their location or anything like that, which I do respect, because regardless of which side of this conflict you sit on, I think we all should be in agreement that people's privacy and security should be respected.
Agreed. Agreed. We went through a lot of other stuff in the main show, including our AI conversation, which was fun. And now this new thing, which we're going to look more into, is the alleged smear campaign against Blake tied to the Rebel Wilson battle. Melissa Nathan got called out in this, and I shared my thoughts. So if you want to watch the full show, you can always become a member. Head on over to PopcornedPlanet.com. That's the best way to join. When you get to the website, click on the top for exclusive content. You'll see options for replays and more stuff, as well as our documentaries in the feed. So check it out. Hit the sign up button today, and make sure you also subscribe to It's Kim as well as here. Always hit the bell for all alerts to make sure you get those notifications. And when you do get them, make sure you hit the like button, hit the comments as well. But make sure you are subscribed. Sometimes it unsubscribes you. So stay tuned. We got a lot more coming here on Popcorn Planet.